Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Texas Turkey Breasts. When we think about Texas barbecue, we often think about beef, brisket, short ribs. I love that stuff. But it seems like every time I go into an authentic, kind of old school Texas barbecue joint, they always have those massive turkey breasts out there too. And they're always glistening with butter. They look amazing, seasoned very similarly to the brisket. We're gonna tackle this one today because I love buttery, juicy poultry year round, but also with Thanksgiving coming up, this might be a great idea for an alternative Thanksgiving dinner. When I said monster turkey breasts, I wasn't joking around. These things are about 4 to 5 pounds each in their boneless, skinless form. And the only thing I'm doing to these is just kind of cleaning them up, taking off any of the skin that looks exceptionally thick. The thinner stuff, like what we see kind of over here, it'll kind of just melt away. It's not as big of a deal. Now these can be difficult to source. So you may have to go through your butcher to get a really nice big one like this, but otherwise you can always buy a nice big like 25-pound turkey and cut the breasts out of there and use the legs for something else. So to really maximize the juiciness and flavor of these turkey breasts, we're gonna put them in a brine overnight first. We're starting with 4 to 5 quarts of water, and we're gonna add our Butcher House brine to this. Now this bag will do a full 5 quarts. I'm a little bit shy of that, so I'm not gonna quite use all of it. But the great thing about this brine is you just mix it up, give it a whisk, and it's ready to go. No heating required. They're so big I can't even get them in there with one hand. All right, so we're gonna lock those in place to keep them submerged, and we'll let them soak overnight. Today we're gonna be smoking our Texas turkey breasts on the Yoder Smoker's Loaded Wichita. It's an offset smoker, old school style. So we're gonna get started with a chimney full of charcoal and then start feeding it splits of oak wood. Start by lighting up fire starter underneath the chimney. And get this filled up with our Kamado Joe Big Block charcoal. Throw a little extra in the back. I've got a couple of breasts that went into brine last night. We're gonna pull those out now, pat them down, dry them off, and season them up. But I can already smell that garlic and onion coming off of them, so we know they're gonna have a great flavor base. Speaking of flavor, we're gonna add a little bit more by using some W sauce, some Worcestershire for our binder. Does poultry need a binder? Not really, but it's nice to have it there. And then of course we're seasoning up these monster turkey breasts with our Cattleman's Grill Lone Star brisket rub. Very simple. Salt, pepper, roasted garlic, and celery seed. Big old hunk of meat, so I'm not gonna be shy with the seasoning. Once that rub's attached, we'll flip, hit the other side with a little more Worcestershire and our Lone Star. With the charcoal hot to the top, we're gonna dump it out in the back half of our firebox, where we're gonna concentrate the fire. Next, we're gonna throw a couple splits of oak back here to ignite. We'll throw one in the front to warm up. We've got our temperature stabilized around 275, which is where we aim to smoke this turkey breast for the entirety of the cook. So we're gonna get these loaded up, fat side to the firebox, since it can take just a little bit extra heat. So now all we have to do is keep that temperature stable and wait for these to come up to an internal temperature of about 140 to 50 before we wrap them up with some butter. So about 2 hours into this smoke now, we got this really beautiful golden brown color going. We checked the internal temperature, just over 140, coming up on 145. So we've got about 10 degrees to go till I want these to be coming off. We're gonna try and get these off right around 155, but we want to give them a little soak in butter first. So we're going to put down 1 stick of butter for each one of these massive breasts. Let's just let that melt in there for just a second. We'll let the heat of that turkey kind of melt that butter, and then we'll flip it over and go breast side down to finish this thing out. I say breast side, I mean skin side, where the skin once was. Wrapping up the second one here. Again, 1 stick of butter. Let's plop this down on top of here just to start melting that butter. Flip this over. Put one little pad on top to melt and wrap it up tight. We're gonna cook it with that skin side down, where the skin once was. It's been another 30 minutes now. That turkey's just been soaking in the butter. It's coming up to temperature. I'm getting the readings 155, 157. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this now. We're gonna kind of leave this loosely open, let it carry over cook up to about 165. Turkey's been resting for about 15 minutes now. We're gonna go ahead and start slicing into it. Talk about juicy. Let's get it in the light here. Look at that, just glistening. So all that brine time paid off. Super buttery on the outside right now. Slicing like butter too. No dry white meat here. And the temperature is a big key part of that. You want to make sure that you're finishing around 155. So once it carryover cooks and finishes all the way out, it's still glistening with juice. Get it all plated up nice and pretty. Fan out those slices. And most important, do not forget about the butter and turkey juice from the package. Right over the top. All right, let's get a bite of this. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculously tender. Super juicy. Great salt, pepper flavor to it. Nothing complicated. Really straightforward, but it's savory, it's simple, it's delicious. The butter coats your mouth. And a great smokiness to it, which of course we always get when we use the offset. I love the offset for that. This could easily replace your holiday turkey at the holiday times, or you could be eating this in the hottest part of the summer, even serving it cold on a sandwich with some tomatoes and some bacon. Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in this video, including the turkey kit that you need to make this entire thing right here. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.